floated on the rim of Vega Station like a stubborn little started refused to dim. From a distance it looked fragile, a round shell of glass and steel clinging to the station's edge, but inside it was warm and alive. The smell of roasted coffee beans mixed with a hint of engine oil from passing cargo ships. Soft music drifted from an old speaker in the corner, a melody meant to calm travelers who had been staring at empty spatcheful. Jason stood behind the long silver counter, whipping it for the fifth time evento it already shown. It was a habit cold break. The slow circle of cloth against metal kept his hands busy and his mind steady. Beyond the window, stars streaked forever, a million white sparks scattered across the dark. So Metimes when the night was quiet and the customers felt the weight of that endless sky pressing against the glass. But tonic the welcome. He had chosen this job for its quiet. After years of noise on crowded freighterers, he wanted stillness. The dinner gave him tattoo until the doors slid open with a soft ease. Jason looked up. A figure stepped through, tall and graceful, unlike anyone he had seen in months. She was not human. Her skin shimmered like liquid silver, each movement sending ripples of light across her surface as if moonlight flowed through her veins. Four slender arms balanced a tray and a folded apron. The color of pale blue e fire met his for a moment. Hello, she sighed, her voice was soft and musical like rain on metal. I am Kira, first day. For a heartbeat, Jason forgot to breathe, then he managed a small nod. Welcome, long trip in. Yes, she answered with a hint of a smile. Many jumps. I arrived only 2 hours ago. The agency said you needed help for the late shift. Jason gestured to the empty tables. You found the rigged place. It's quite now, but that can change quick when a transport docks. Kira stepped further inside. Her feet made no sound on the floor. The faint glow of her skin lit the shadows near the boats. Jason had seen many speeches on Vega Station, but something about her calm presence felt different, gentler, almost fragile. She unfolded the apron with 2 hands while the other 2 rested at her sides. "I can work fast," she said simply. Jason gave a half smile. "Good to know him, Jason, by the way." Kira she repeated as if testing out the name felt in this language. "I am ready." They began with the basics. Jason showed her the order screen, the drink dispensers, the way to handle the ancient coffee machine that licked to like a grumpy cat. Kira watched the very motion carefully. Her 4 hands moved with precise grace, never fumbling, never rushing. When she lifted a stack of heavy ceramic plates with the ase, Jason raised an eyebrow. "You're stronger than you look." "My speeches was shaped for balance and endurance," she said, almost matter of fact. "We serve, we carry, we last." Her words hung in the air. Jason didn't know if serve meant employment or something deeper. He let it pass for now. The first customers arrived soon after, a pair of tired miners smelling faintly of ozone. Jason took the orders while Kira prepared drinks. She worked quickly, sliding steaming mugs across the counter with a dancer's grace. The miners blinked at her shining skin boots side noting. They left generous tips. More travelers came, a family of merchants lounging in 3 languages, a lonely pilot with eyes like cracked glass, 2 engineers arguing about engine coils. Each time, Kira moved like a quiet storm of silver light. Plates, cups, and cutlery seemed to float around her, guided by those deft forearms. Jason stole glances while whipping tables. There was no waste in her movement. She spun, bent, and balanced with a rhythm that almost looked like art. It worked with quick people before, but Kira was something else faster, smoother and tearing. Yet he noticed small things. A brief pause when she talked none was looking, a faint tremor in the fine silver lines across her shoulders. Her smile never faded, but her glow seemed to dim just a fraction as the hour stretched. Between customers, Jason tried conversation, "So what brought you out here?" Kira carefully set a plate on the warmer. "Travel," she said, "and work. I wish to see a woman's life." "That's a long way to come just to see us." Her bright eyes softened. "Your kind you endure, I wish to understand we." Jason didn't know what to say. He'd never talked of humans as anything special, just people trying to pay bills in a big cold galaxy. But Kira spoke with quiet respect like someone studying a rare star. The station clock marked the slow turning of night. The dinner filled again after a cargo ship docked. Orders came fast, spiced soaps, thick sandwiches, endless streams of black coffee. Jason moved quickly, but Kira moved faster. forearms blurred as she carried try stacked Gertani shoulders, customer stared impressed. Still, kept noticing that faint tremor when she set a heavy plate down. Her glow flickered like a candle figting a draft. "You okay?" he asked when they met at the counter for a brief moment. Kira tilted her head, her faint smile steady. "I am capable, my kind recovers quickly, we do not tire like humans." Jason wasn't convinced. It sent that lock before on long-haul pilots who brudged a cold skip sleep. It never ended well. Hours passed, the miners left. The family of merchants fell silent with full stomachs. The lonely pilot drifted out into the station's endless corridors. Outside, the starfield shifted as Vega station rotated slowly in orbit. Inside, the dinner's lights hummed and the air smelled of coffee and faint ozone. Jason whipped the counter again, cloth tracing circles that marked the slow turn of the station. He glanced toward Kira and felt a tug of worry. She still moved with that uncanny speed, but now her glow was dimmer, like moonlight fading before a dawn. One of her lower arms shook for half a second before she stilled it. Jason tightened his grip on the cloth, something about the way she kept smiling, refusing to rest, stirred a quietudine in him. He didn't know yet that this long-necked would test more than a strength that it would reveal a truth about endurance nature of them expected the soft glow of station nick de pene as another ship docked. A low vibration rolled through the dinner's floor like a heartbeat carried from the massive engine outside. Jason glanced at it. The door hissed open again and again. Spacefregter crews filled in, boats heavy with metallic dust. The quiet dinner became a small storm of voices and clinking cups. Orders came faster than the printer could spit them out. Black coffee with double caffeine, bowls of spiced noodles, thick slices of nutrient bread dripping with butter. Jason tied his approntigter and hurried between tables. Even with his quick steps, he felt almost slow next to Kira. She flowed through the growing crowd like a silver current. Forearms balanced dry stacked with bowls and mugs. Her shimmering skin reflected the colored lights from the station outside, casting faint blue and violet ripples on the walls. Customers stopped mid-sentence to watch her move. Some whispered. Jason heard on a pilot mutter, never seen anything like her. Kira didn't seem to notice the attention. Her eyes glowed like small moons, focused on a very ordered sleep. She shifted between tables without a single plate sleeping. The hum of her energy made Jason pause for half a breath until the printer spat another string of orders, and forced himself back into motion. The noise swelled, forks scraped against ceramic, the coffee machine hissed angrily with each refill. Jason's muscles began to ache from the constant motion, but Kira showed no sign of slowing. Or so it seemed. Jason caught the first clue when he passed her near the drink station. A small tremor ran along her lower rigged arm before she steadied it against a tray. Her bright glow flickered for a heartbeat. "You go," they asked quietly. Kira turned her head, smiled perfectly calm. "I am capable, my kind does not tire as humans do." Jason frowned but said nothing. My hyperspecies really did recover faster, still that flicker bothered him. By the third wave of customers, the air felt heavy with steam voices. A group of miners called for more soap. A pair of young traders argued about docking fees. Someone spilled a cup of sweet green tea that poured across the counter. Jason moved to clean the mess, but Kira was already there. Forearms blurred, towel twisting, plate stacking the agone in a second. She gave the traders a small bow, her faint smile never breaking. But when she turned away, Jason saw it her shoulders lifted in a sharp breath, as if they are suddenly weighed more than before. He found a moment busy there at the order screen. "You can take a short break, I can handle this rush for a bit." Her silver eyes narrowed slightly, not in anger but in confusion. "Break, we do not stop until the task ends. It is what we are." "That's intense," Jason sighed, keeping his voice low. "Humans patch themselves, otherwise we burn out." Kira tilted her head. "Burnout, a strange phrase, we continue, we are will moving." "Even machines need maintenance," Jason replied. She gave no answer, only turned to deliver another try. The crowd finally thinned near station midnight. Empty mugs and half-eaten plates littered the tables. Jason wiped sweat from his forehead, breathing hard. He'd worked long shifts before, but this one struck him thin. Kira still moved among the tables collecting dishes. Her glow once bright like a small star no looked pale. Jason noticed their steps just a little slower, just a fraction less steady. E carried a heavy tube of platesto te kit che non returned to find their lifting to a full tries at once. One try wobbled. Jason stepped forward quickly. Il tacket adre side. I have it, she replied voice quiet but firm. Kira? She shifted her weight and steadied the try with a lower arm. For a second her silver skin rippled in uneven waves, a subtle shimmer like a frying light. She kept moving. Jason felt a tight knot form in his chest. A notero ur passed. The last customers left with teared smiles. The dinner grew still except for the loom of the ventilation. Jason finally allowed himself to lean against the counter. Kira stacked the final dishes. Her hands moved automatically but slower now as if each motion fogged a hidden drag. E watched carefully, shifts almost over we can start closing. Yes, she sighed, her voice held a faint vibration almost like a tremor, almost. Jason studied her face. The once bright glow in her eyes dimmed to a soft grey blue. Her breathing, usually silent, came in tiny uneven bursts. "You sure you're okay?" e asked again. She paused as if searching for the word capable. "Te same answer but we care." Jason stepped closer. "Listen, you don't have to prove anything, it's just a job, sit for a minute." Her head turned sharply, the silver lines along her neck tightening. "To stop is to file," she whispered. E opened his mouth to argue, but before a cold speak, a sudden crash split the quiet. A mug had slipped from one of her upper hands and shattered on the floor. The sound rang across the empty dinner like a small explosion. Kira froze, al forearm sung in midair, trembling, her eyes within a glow flickering wildly, for a heart beat and teared in her seam to hold its breath. Jason rushed forward. "It's fine, it's just a mug." But Kira swallowed where she stood. Her knees buckled. Jason dropped to catch her before she could fall. Her body was warm but strangely light, like holding a shell filled with fading light. "Kira?" Her eyes fluttered, silver lashes trembling. "Must continue," she whispered. "No," Jason sighed firmly. "You need to rest." He felt a faint vibration through her skin, a loom like a machine straining past its limit. The shimmer of her silver surface dimmed until it looked almost human, soft grey with faint, uneven scars along her arms. Jason's heart thudded. These weren't just signs of fatigue, they were warnings of something deeper, something that went beyond simple tiredness. E tigtene di soldan guided her toward the small break room at the back of the dinner, the only quiet space left. The of the station followed them, steady and distant. Kira had rested lightly against his shoulder. "I am sorry," she murmured, voice barely breath. "We are built to endure, to stop his shame." Jason shook his head, his voice low but firm. "You don't have to carry that air, not with me." Her glowing eyes flicked open for a moment, searching his face as if trying to understand a language deeper than words. Jason held the door to the break room open with his foot and the eyes there onto the small bench inside. He knelt beside her, watching the dim light flicker across her silver skin. The night outside the dinner stretched endlessly, stars scattered like silent witnesses. Inside, Jason felt a quiet determination settle in his chest. Something told him that this collapse wasn't just exhaustion. It was a story written in scars and silence, a story was only beginning to read. The break room was small and quiet, a square of dim light at the back of the dinner. The of the station outside felt far away air muffled like a distant ocean. Her silver skin no longer shone like before. It had faded to a soft grey, with faint streaks of dull blue pulsing beneath the surface. Each breath she took sounded uneven, a whisper of air that trembled as it left her. Jason grabbed a clean towel and dipped it into a pitcher of cold water, and pressed it gently against her forehead. "Just breathe," he sighed. "You're safe." Kira's eyes fluttered open, the pale glow within them wake but steady. "I failed," she whispered. No, Jason sighed firmly. "You didn't fail, you worked hard, and you would need a break after that rush." Her lips trembled as if she wanted to argue. "My people, we do not stop. We are shaped to serve until the task is done, to fall is shame." Jason shook his head. "Shame for being tired, that doesn't make sense." Kira shifted slightly forearms folding across her chest tog toide. From bird we are taught to keep moving, work sus, we repair wile we serve, if we pause we are le stan vuole. Jason felt I have settle in his chest, that's not a howling, that's punishment. Brig is flickered, it is what we know, on my world to rest is we hackness, we recover wile moving, we are told we can always do it again and again. Voice broke on the last word. Jason placed a steady hand on of her upper arms. Her skin was cold now, almost soft like velvet instead of shimmering metal. That sounds exhausting, he sighed quietly. Don't you ever just stop to fail, Alive? She turned her face toward him, confusion in her pale glow. Alive is to continue, is it not? Exhaled slowly, arcing forwards. Being alive isn't only about movement, sometimes it's about stillness. Humans we need to rest, we breate, we pause, we let our bodies catch up. It doesn't mean we're awake, it means we care for ourselves. Kira blinked long and slow, but you recover slower than and still you stop, we. Jason talked of long nights on cargo freighters, of endless shifts in freezing holds. He talked of the times he'd fallen asleep staring at stars because he simply couldn't move not a inch. Because if we don't, we break, he sighed softly. And don't you break, no quick Alin can fix everything inside. So metimes the only strength is knowing when to pause. The silence stretched between them. The faint vibration of the station's engines filled the room like a distant heartbeat. Kira lowered her guts, her voice a whisper. On my world, we are prized when we collapse and rise again. We are told it shows we can endure. But she trailed off, a faint tremor running through her arms. I do not wish to rise like that tonicked. Jason offered a gentle smile. Then don't, you don't have to prove anything here. Her eyes lifted to his, but if he stop what I may. Yure Kira, Jason sighed simply, that's a nog. For a moment she only stared at him, as if the concept itself was strange. Her glow flickered softly, no longer sharp like a burning star but gentle like moonlight on water. I have scars, she sighed suddenly. She shifted on her arm so the light fell across a thin, jagged line running along her forearm. Jason hadn't noticed it before, hidden beneath the shimmer. From many nights, we do not speak of them, we just continue. Again. Jason's chest tightened. You don't have to hide them from me. Her lower arms trembled slightly. You would not find them beautiful. Teire prof you've survived, he sighed. That's more beautiful than any perfect scene. Kira's breath itched. She took the scar with a lower hand, touching it as if feeling it for the first time. When he was small, he watched elders work until they fell. Then they stood and worked again. We believed it was glory. He believed it too, but each time he collapsed, submitting inside the fails emptier. Jason nodded slowly. That emptiness is telling you submitting. It's saying you deserve more than endless work. She looked down, voice barely audible. He never told anyone it is. He thought it was wrong to question. It's not wrong, Jason sighed. It's human, well, it's living to wonder if there is a better way. The quiet wrapped around them like a soft blanket. Jason noticed their breathing had evened out, the earlier tremors fading. He felt a small spark of relief. Do you want some water? He asked. She gave a small nod. Jason fetched a cup from the counter and handed it to her. Her fingers brushed his briefly cold, smooth and trembling less than before. She sipped slowly, the faint blue light in her eyes growing steadier. This is piace, she sighed after a moment. Jason smiled. Yeah, that's exactly it. Her head tilted. We do not have a word for this. We only have words for work and for rising. Maybe you can make one, he sighed. Kira studied him with quiet curiosity. You speak as if stopping his strength. It is, Jason sighed. It's harder than running yourself empty. And you can keep going until they fall, but choosing to stop that takes courage. She closed her eyes, letting the thought settle. The silver glow around her body softened into a gentle shine, no longer the harsh brightness she wore while working. He felt strange, she sighed softly, like something heavy was lifted. That's how it starts, Jason replied. It's the weight you didn't know you were carrying. For a long while they sat together in silence. The dinner outside had gone completely still, even the hum of the machines seemed softer. Jason found himself walking the faint blue pulse of light beneath her skin, steady and calm. Kira finally spoke, "If I return to my people and speak of this, they will not understand." Maybe not at first, Jason sighed, but maybe Someone will listen. Maybe someone else is waiting for permission to rest just like you were. She considered that era is reflecting the dim chilling light. Perhaps, she sighed quietly, perhaps I can be the first. Jason gave a small nod. That sounds like real strength to me. Kira lowered her gaze, but there was the faintest curve of a smile on her lips, a smile not forged, not part of her duties but her own. Outside the endless stars kept their silent watch. Inside the small break room something had shifted. The alien who believed she must never stop had paused. The human who believed in rest had offered her a new idea. And in that quiet space on the edge of Vega Station, they both understood that something the bravest act is not to rise again, but to simply be the break room lights hummed softly, a single yellow glow spilling over the metal floor. Jason sat across from Kira, still close enough to catch her if she swayed again. Outside the door, the dinner was silent, only the faint hum of the station's engines filling the air like a distant heartbeat. Kira leaned back against the wall. Her silver skin, no a pale grey with faint blue veins, reflected the light in gentle ripples. She held the cup of water with two of her 4 hands, as though the simple act of holding it grounded her. Her breathing had steadied, but Jason could say something deeper behind her calm attention, an old wound that had nothing to do with muscles or tired arms. He waited, letting the quiet stretch. Finally Kira spoke, her voice soft as mist. "Where I come from, we are born to serve. It is not a choice. It is what we are. From our first steps we are told, work until you fall, then rise and work again." Jason's chest tightened. "That sounds like a prison, not a life." She lowered her gaze. "To us it is honor. Tell their say our strength keeps the world alive. We are prized when we collapse and still rise again. We are told that if we stop before falling, we waste our gift." Jason shook his head slowly. "That isn't a gift, that's cruelty dressed as pride." Kira traced the rim of her cup with on a slender finger, her eyes glowing faintly in the low light. "My parents worked until their bodies cracked. I watched them stand again and again, even when their skin split from strain. They smiled each time, calling it victory." Her voice trembled. "When I was small, I thought it was beautiful. I wanted to shine like them. I wanted to be prized. I tried to match them even when my arms ached and my vision blurred. When I felt shame for resting." Jason leaned forward, elbows on his knees. No killed should feel shame for needing to rest. Kira's glow flickered, a slow pulse like a fading star. "It is alike now. We all fast, yes, but the scars remain beneath the shine. We the them so known as we acnes." She shifted slightly and lifted one of her lower arms. The dim light revealed thin, silvery scars winding along her skin like quiet rivers. "These are from years of proving myself," she sighed. "I never showed them before. They tell us to cover them so we appear endless." Jason's breath caught. The scars were delicate but deep, each one a story of pain hidden behind their glowing skin. "You don't have to hide them here," he sighed softly. "They show how strong you already are, strong enough to survive." Her eyes lifted to his, arcing. "You say them a strength." "Yes," Jason sighed without hesitation. "Because they man you kept living, not because you kept working. That's the real strength." For a long moment neither spoke. The station's quietum filled the room. Jason could almost hear the soft rhythm of her heartbeat slower no calmer. "You humans," Kira sighed finally, "you stop, you sleep, you allow the body to rest, and yet you keep building, keep exploring the stars. You rise again without being forged." Jason offered a faint smile. "Because we carry about each other, we tell on another to rest, we pick each other up, we know that a person isn't just what they can produce." Kira tilted her head. "That is different. We measure worth by how long we last before falling." "That sounds like a race no one can win," Jason sighed quietly. Her eyes dimmed to a soft blue-gray. "Sometimes I wonder if we work to hide from something, if we keep moving so we never feel what waits in the stillness." Jason nodded slowly. "Sometimes people run so they don't have to face their pain, but stopping being still can show you who you really are. That can be scary, but it's also where healing starts." Kira let out a breath, almost a sigh. E Aling we speak of it only as the body knitting itself, not the spirit. Your spirit matters to Jason side, it's what you are when the work is done. Kira rested the red back against the wall, silver lashes lowering. When he chose to travel, tell their side he would shame my family if he's lowered. They told me he would collapse and never rise again without them. Jason felt a slow burn of anger in his chest, not at her, but at the world that demanded so much from her. They were wrong, you rose tonicked in a different way. You chose to stop. That's braver than any endless work. A faint glow brightened in her eyes like the first light of dawn. To chose to stop brave. Yes, Jason sighed, because you decided for yourself. Silence again, but this time it felt warmer. Kira looked down at her hands at the faint scars catching the light. It came to say humans because he heard stories, she sighed softly. Stories of a people who kept going even told they break easily. He thought it was because you had no limits. But no, he said it is because you know your limits and still you return. Jason smiled gently. We fall, we rest, we stand. That's the real pattern. And we help each other stand when we can't do it alone. Her glow de pene da shade, not the harsh brightness of overwork but a calm, steady silver. Perhaps he wanted Someone to tell me it is allowed, she admitted. Jason met her eyes. Tene are it no, it's allowed. You are allowed to stop. You are allowed to rest. You are enough, Kira, even if you never carry another try. Kira blinked slowly, a quiet shimmer of light in her eyes. Enough, she repeated, tasting the word like something rare. I have never been called enough. You always were, Jason sighed. You just needed someone to remind you. Her lips curved a small, genuine smile. Perhaps I can remind myself now. The hum of the station softened around them. Jason felt the tension in the room loosen, like a knot slowly coming undone. He reacted for the water pitcher to refill her cup, and for the first time she did not protest, did not insist she could serve herself. When she drank, her glow warmed to a gentle silver white. Dispiace, she sighed quietly, it feels new, like a second heartbeat. Jason nodded, that's what healing feels like, not rushing, just bang. Kira closed her eyes, a slow breath moving through her chest. Maybe my people can learn this, maybe can teach them. You called, Jason sighed softly, but tonic, just let yourself have it, no lessons, just you. For the first time since she entered the dinner, Kira looked truly still, not frozen from fear or duty, but resting in her own choice. The scars along her arms caught the light like faint silver rivers, no longer submitting to the but quiet proof of survival. Jason leaned back against the wall across from her, the two of them surrounded by the calm of vegetation. Outside the windowless room, stars drifted in endless silence. In that small space, the alien who had been taught to serve without carried the weight of her people's expectations and began to set it down. Jason, a simple human on a quiet late shift, now was witnessing a strength far greater than endless endurance. The strength to stop the break room stayed quiet except for the soft hum of the station's engines. Jason sat cross-legged on the floor, leaning against the opposite wall. Kira remained on the narrow bench, her forearms relaxed for the first time since she had met her. The silver glow of her skin had shifted to a gentle pearl shade, nolo. Jason studied her for a moment. She looked piaceful now, but a cold still sensed a storm of thoughts behind her calm eyes. How are you feeling? He asked. Kira took a slow breath. Like there, she sighed. But also unsure. I have never been still this long, it feels like I am doing something wrong even as I know it is rigged. Jason nodded, that's normal. When you live on a way your whole life stopping can feel strange, but it's not wrong, it's just new. Kira tilted her head, eyes glowing faint blue in the dim light. When you work on your ships, she asked softly, do you also feel this weight, the push to keep going even when the body begs for rest? A memory rose in Jason's mind, long frigged her runes with engines screaming through the space, his captain shouting orders while everyone pushed past the limit. E remembered hacking muscles and the dull fear of making a mistake from pure exhaustion. Yeah, I sighed. I've felt it. We call it burning out. It's like running on empty until something inside the brakes. And still, Kira sighed, humans bullshit yes travel the stars create music. You stop, yet you keep going, oh. Jason talked for a moment, searching for simple words, because we let each other rest, e sighed finally, when someone falls other step in, we take turns. We don't have to carry everything alone. Kira lo ere de reyes, we do not take turns, we ech carry ura un lo ad untilit cruce sus, to paste burdenis shame. That's not strength, Jason sighed gently, that's fear disguise da sonor. Kira lo che datte scarsalunger lo arm te ones she had shoni merlier. Fear, she whispered tasting the word. Yes, we fear being sena sweak, we fear being left behind. Jason leaned forward, e verione fear stat, but real strength is trusting someone en og to charete waked. E reyes flickered with fine silver light, charete waked, on my world we are taugt that none will help if we fall. Maibe that's we yo come out ere, Jason sighed softly, maibe part of yo oped to find a different way. Kira's got se metis te adianse arking, perhaps, she admitted, perhaps he wanted proof that life could be gentler. It can, Jason sighed, and yo deserve that gentleness. A long silence settled between them, comfortably no, the of the station felt like a soft earth bed around them. Jason stood and crossed the room to the small cabinet, e pulled out a packet of tea mint, the kind that smelled like freshly aves after rain, e poured hot water into a cup and broke it to air. Ere, e sighed, this helps woman slow down. Kira accepted the cup carefully, Steam curled in front of her face as she inhaled the scent. It smells salive, she murmured. That's the idea, Jason sighed with a small smile. She sipped a fine shiver ran through her, not of pine but of something closet to delict. Warm, she whispered. It moves through me like light. Jason laughed softly, that's there for you. For a moment they simply shared the quiet, the warmth of the cup and the gentleum of space. After a while Kira spoke again, ma elder sai tatto resti stolose purpose, but he fell more myself no than during all the hours of work. That's because you're more than your work, Jason sighed. You're a whole person, you have a heart thoughts, dreams, work is only on a part of you. She looked down at the stem rising from the cup. Dreams, she repeated softly. I do not know if he have any, he never had time to wonder. Jason sat busy there on the bench. Maybe you can start tonic, if you could dream of anything, what would it be? Kira was silent for a long moment. Then she sighed, a place where none mi assures me, where my word is not how long he can stand. Jason felt something ache in his chest. That sounds like a good dream, and it's not impossible, you could build that life. Her eyes glowed faintly brighter alone. You'd find people who understand, Jason sighed. The universe is big, there are others who believe in rest in kindness, so metimes you have to start small on a choice on a night. Kira looked at him studying his face as if weighing his words. And you, Jason, we are you ere in a small dinner on a lonely station. He shrugged with a faint smile. He wanted quiet, after years of running fragged, he needed a place where he could breathe. He guess he was tired of being a machine too. Do you miss the old life? So metimes he admitted, but he don't miss being exhausted. He liked this meeting travelers and hearing stories, it felt human. Kira tilted her head, perhaps we are about learning the same lesson. Maybe Jason sighed smiling. They sat together for a while longer, sharing silence that felt almost sacred. Outside the stars drifted beyond the metal walls. Inside the break room seemed to hold its own small universe, warm tea, soft light, two lives meeting at the edge of space. At last Kira set the empty cup aside. My strength returns, she sighed quietly, but I do not wish to rush back. You don't have it all, Jason sighed. The dinner is closed, we can wait for dawn. Kira gave a slow nod. He never talked whiting cold fell like freedom. Jason leaned back, letting his shoulders rest against the wall. That's the secret way humans escape. Rest isn't way acne. It's what lets us begin again without breaking. Kira's glow brightened a fraction like a soft sunrise. Then perhaps tonic he learned to be a little human. Jason smiled at that. Maybe we're about a little more than we were yesterday. The station engine summed steady and calm. For the first time since the long shift began, Jason felt no need to check the clock, no urge to move. Kira sat beside him, quiet and strong in a new way, strong not because she refused to stop, but because she finally allowed herself to. Outside the dinner stars wailed in silent patterns. Inside two travelers, on a human, on a not shared a simple truth. that choosing to rest to breate and to be present was its own kind of victory. And in that small raw montage of Vega Station, a bond began to form, built not on endless endurance but on te courage to pause, te lights utside te diner dimme das Vega Stations lead into its nick cicle. Trog te small round window te endless stars burned like quiet lanterns. Jason Leane dissead against the wall and let te settle de epinis bones. For the first time in weeks, felt no urrito stand or serve anione. Kira sat beside him, still as a sculpture of soft light. Her silver skin glowed faintly against the shadowed room. She had not moved for a long time. Four elegant arms rested on her lap, fingers losely curled, as if she was affrettata an emotion world breaktis new peace. Jason broke the silence with a gentle question, how does it feel now? Kira turned her eyes toward him, tail him married like small moans. It felt sweet, she sighed slowly, as though each word was a careful discovery, as if the space inside meis finale as big as the stars outside. Jason smiled, that's what rest feels like. Kira tilted her head. On my world, whenever white like this, time is counted in tasks. If we stop and not attack surplace, we vanish. E nodded humans used to think that way too. Some still do, but even learned that life isn't just about doing, it's about being. Being, she repeated, letting the word linger in the air. We have no word for that. The station's engine hummed a soft and steady rhythm. Jason listened to it with half-closed eyes. When he was a kid, he sighed, my grandmother used to sit on her porch at night. No music, no noise, just errant the stars. He never understood it. He always wanted to run and play. But she told me stillness is where you find yourself, I think he jet it no. Kira's gaze softened, your grandmother sounds wise. She was, Jason sighed, a touch of warmth in his voice. She didn't have much, just a small house, a garden and time. But she talked me at moments like this matter more than any race or reward. Kira looked down at her hands. We have gardens of crystal on my home moon, she sighed. I have never sat in them, we urri past beauty because it does not increase production. That sounds lonely, Jason sighed.
It is.
She admitted he did not know it was loneliness until now. Silence stretched again, but it was a gentle silence, rich with meaning. Jason watched a distant comet glide across the dark. He talked about all the humans who would never set his view, and felt a quiet gratitude. Kira shifted slightly the movement delicate. Jason, she sighed, do you ever fear that if you stop, you will forget how to start again? He considered the question. Some etimes, but he learned that starting again isn't the hard part, it's believing you deserve a break. That's what takes courage. Courage, she repeated, tasting the word. My people believe courage is fighting until the end, but perhaps courage is also choosing to stop before the end comes. Jason met her gaze, exactly, it takes real strength to say need rest. Kira lowered her eyes, I think I have been afraid of that strength all my life. Jason shifted closer, careful not to disturb the quiet too much. You found it tonic, he sighed. Kira looked at him, her silver glow flickering like soft candlelight. With your help, she whispered. Maibele sighed, but you made the choice, that was you. For a moment, they simply breathed together, their rhythms matching the loud room of the station. Kira spoke again, voice soft but steady. When I return to my world, they will not understand this. They will ask how many shifts he worked, how many credits he earned. They will not ask if he saw the stars. Jason nodded slowly, then maybe you can be the first to touch them. Her eyes within touch them. Yeah, Jason sighed with a small smile. Show them that rest isn't weakness. Show them that stopping can be beautiful, so me honest to start. Kira considered this her expression too hopeful. It will be difficult. Most good things are, Jason sighed. The break room clock ticked softly. Jason rose to stretch his legs e offered her a hand. Come on, he sighed. Let's walk to the observation deck, best view on the station. Kira hesitated, then placed on of her delicate hands in his. The contact was warm, a faint shimmer of energy passing between them. Together they stepped into the corridor, the air cool and faintly metallic. The station was quiet at this late hour. Only the distant echo of machinery accompanied their footsteps. As they walked, Kira glanced at the walls lined with small maintenance lights. It feels different, she sighed. Evente metal seem salive. Jason smiled. That's what happens when you finally slow down, you notice things. Tei reacet te vide observati on deck. Biontetic glass stretched te infinite black of space, scattered with stars that looked close and og to touch. Kira stopped and stared, four arms lowered in awe, I have served travelers for many nights, she sighed softly. I never looked outside like this, always I hurried past. Jason folded his arms and watched her face. It's worth stopping for, isn't it? Yes, she whispered, more than worth. They stood side by side, gazing into the endless sky. A soft glow from the galaxy beyond brushed their faces with silver and blue. Jason spoke quietly. So many think the universe waits for us to notice it, like it's patient knowing well look up when we're ready. Kira let out a small sound halfway between a sig and a laug. Perhaps the universe is wiser than we are. Maybe Jason sighed with a grin, but tonic you caught up. Kira turned her head to meet his eyes. Tonic, she sighed, he chose to stop. And that, Jason replied, is one of the bravest things I've ever seen. Her silver eyes brightened, reflecting the distant stars. Thank you, Jason, she sighed softly. They remained there for a long time, two figures in the quiet glow of space. No words were needed anymore. The station hummed gently as if cradling their stillness. The first time in her life Kira felt wole not because she had worked until collapse, but because she had finally learned the power of pause the station's artificial down began a satin gold line along the curved window of the observation deck. Jason watched the slow light creep across the floor, turning the steel panels into soft bronze. Beside him Kira stood silent, her silver skin reflecting the morning glow like a calm river. She did not rush. Jason stretched his arms and let out a quiet sig. Morning already, he sighed. Kira's eyes followed the rising light. It feels different than any morning before, she replied. Her voice held a quiet wonder. Usually the start of a cycle is only a signal to begin work again, but now it feels like a gift. Jason smiled. That's what a god night does. It changed the way you see a new day. They stayed near the window for a while, letting the soft gold fill the space. Below them, cargo ships drifted like tiny fireflies around the station. The sound of machinery slowly returned as workers walked and shops prepared to open. Yet inside the observation deck, the silence remained gentle. Kira turned to him with a thoughtful expression. Jason, she sighed slowly, I do not want to go back to the old way. I do not want to live only to collapse. A nodded understanding. You don't have it to, you yet to choose. She looked at her own hands, flexing all four slowly as if feeling their strength in a new way. Choice, she murmured. We speak of duty, but we're really speak of choice. That's the real power, Jason sighed, not working without end but choosing what matters. A soft key echoed through the station speakers, signaling the start of the work cycle. Kira glanced toward the sound and then back to Jason. They will expect me to begin the shift soon, she sighed, but there was no panic in her voice. What do you want to do? Jason asked. Kira took a long breath. I want to stay here a little longer. I want to remember this feeling before I step back into the noise. Jason nodded with a small grin, then we stay. They sat on the cool floor near the window, their shoulders a quiet distance apart. Jason leaned back against the wall, while Kira folded her legs beneath her. After a few moments, Kira spoke again. When he first came to the station, he thought humans were fragile. You need sleep, you slow down, you break easily, but no I say another truth. You pause and still you return. That is not weakness. That is something my people have forgotten. Jason smiled gently. Maybe fragility isn't a bad thing. It remains us to care for each other. Her eyes shimmered softly. Care, she repeated. We have no word that carries warmth like that. We have only duty. Jason looked at her, feeling a quiet ache in his chest. Duty can be heavy, care is like there. It connects people instead of trapping them. Kira lowered her gaze, considering his words. Perhaps he can teach them this care. Perhaps he can begin with myself. That's where it starts, Jason sighed. With you. The station's dinner world soon open. Jason talked of the regulars arriving for their morning coffee, the smell of fresh bread, the hum of conversation. E imagined Kira there moving at a calmer pace, not as a machine but as a person who chose her own rhythm. You don't have to give everything to them, he sighed quietly. You can work, but you can also rest. Balance is what keeps us alive. Kira looked at him with a soft glow in her eyes. You have shown me a path he did not know existed. I am grateful. Jason felt at ease in his chest. You don't owe me anything. You found this path yourself. It just kept you company. Companionship, she sighed, testing the word. It felt strong, stronger than endless labor. Jason chuckled softly. It is. It's what keeps the stars from feeling too far away. The sunlight glow from Vega star brigtene do uzzide, washing the station in pale light. Kira rose slowly to her feet, her movements smooth and deliberate. She turned to Jason and extended one of her hands. Walk with me to the dinner, she asked. Jason accepted her hand and stood, of course. They walked side by side through the quiet halls. The station was walking now, but it no longer felt like a race. Workers greeted each other with nods. The sound of distant engines was more like a heartbeat than a demand. As they approached the dinner door, Kira paused. Before we enter, she sighed softly, I must tell you something. Jason looked at her, waiting. I used to believe that my word was measured only by how much I could endure. Now I say that my word is simply that I am alive. Jason strode tigtened. That's the truth, he sighed quietly. Never forget it. I will not, Kira promised. They stepped inside. The dinner smelled of warm bread and fresh steam. Morning light poured across the counters. Kira moved behind the counter with a calm grace. Her forearms began preparing the space, but there was no frantic energy in her motion. Jason watched her a small smile on his face. She looked different, stronger, calmer. Kira turned to him after setting a cup on the counter. Would you like tea? She asked. Always, Jason sighed. As she poured the hot water, she glanced at the window where the stars still shimmered beyond the growing light. The universe is still waiting, she sighed, almost to herself. Jason followed her gaze, and now you have time to say it. She met his eyes, a quiet spark of silver in her own. Yes, she sighed, voice firm but warm, now we have time. The dinner door slid open as the first customer stepped inside, but the rush of a new day felt gentle instead of heavy. Kira handed Jason his tea, and for a brief moment, they shared a silent smile, a promise that this lesson would remain. Jason raised the cup in a small salute, "Eres to new starts," he sighed. Kira nodded, the silver of her skin catching the morning light like a new dawn. "To new starts," she echoed. And with that, they began not as a race to endure, but as a quiet celebration of life e choice, and a simple courage to pause.